In this section, we are going to learn what is letter writing and how to write letter writing and what are the types of letter writing, and especially we are going to learn how to write informal letters. In the end of this section, you will be able to know how to write informal letters. Now, let me define what is a letter. So here is the definition of letter. A letter is a form of written communication between two persons or two parties on a particular topic, matter, issue, incident, and etc. It serves the purpose of documentation as well. Here is the classification of letters. So actually, letters are broadly classified as two types. First one is formal and second one is informal. Okay, so there are two types of letters, children. First type is formal letters and second type is informal letters. In this section, I am going to teach you how to write informal letter and what is the format of informal letter. What is informal letter? Informal letters are personal letters written in an informal tone. The letters are written to family, friends, and relatives, and also to someone with whom you do not share any professional relations. Okay? An informal letter is a non-official letter that we usually use to write to our friends, families, or relatives. These letters are personal letters that are not used for official purposes. There could be many reasons for which we write these letters to our family and friends. For example, if we want to inform them about our achievement in our school or college, then we write them a letter to spread our personal news. So actually, informal letters are personal communication. Okay, so when we use personal communication, we can use informal letters, and here we can use a casual or emotional tone. Okay, when you talk with your father or mother and your close friends, how will you talk? That same you have to follow in informal letter. Okay, so it should not be in formal way, but instead it is in informal way. And next, formal letter. So formal letter is totally different from informal letter. So when we write a letter to our office, business, or professional, okay, for that we can use formal letters. Okay, in next section, let us learn how to write formal letters. In this section, we are concentrating in informal letter. How to write an informal letter? Here is the format of informal letter. So the letter always begins with the sender's address on the top left hand corner or the right hand corner. Okay, we can write the sender's address either left side or right side. You know who is sender? A person who is writing a letter is a sender. So we must write the sender's address either left side corner or right side. Okay, top of this page there is a address, and next write the date below the sender's address on the right or left hand corner. Okay, so after the sender's address we have to write the date. So if you are writing a letter today means you have to write today's address. Okay, or if you write a letter on tomorrow means you can write the tomorrow's address. And next, the date is followed by an appropriate salutation such as dear. Okay, so salutation must be there. In informal letter, we can write like this: Dear father, dear mother, dear cousin, dear so and so, dear Raju, dear Ravi. You can add your friends and your bestie's name with the dear. So, this is the salutation here. Since the letter is informal, thus the salutation is usually given by dear, such as a dear and your friend's name. Okay, for example, dear Ravi, dear Raju, like that. Dear father, dear mother, and etc. Unlike for formal letters, you don't have to mention the subject line for informal letters. Okay, but when you write formal letter, you can mention subject. Okay, so when I teach formal letter, I will teach there. Okay, but the address of senders and the receivers of the letters has to be mentioned necessarily. And next, after the salutation, body of the letter. Body of the letter means we have to convey the message here. We have to say why we are writing a letter, what purpose are we writing a letter. Okay, we have to write briefly here. So, when we start body of the letter, we can make the sentences like this: How are you? I'm fine. How are family members? Here all are fine. I hope you are all fine there. So we can add a few sentences like this. Then you can convey your message. Why you are writing a letter. Okay, actually body of the letter has three parts. I will explain. After the body of the letter, there is subscription, which means closing the letter. How do we close the letter here? Yours lovingly. Okay, so yours lovingly and your signature. The sender's signature must be there. So when you write yours first letter, Y should be in capital. But many of them, when they write yours, before S, they put apostrophe. So it is not necessary here. See the screen. YOURS. Y should be capital. There is no apostrophe. So we have to write like this. Then you have to put your sign. And here is a more explanation about body of the letter. The body of the letter should have three parts. They are introduction, main content, and summary. Okay, so introduction, main content, and summary are the three parts in body of the letter. When we start to write body of the letter, first we have to introduce ourselves. For example, after salutation, you can write some sentences like this. How are you? I'm fine. How is your family? Okay, so my family is good. My family members are good. Okay, so you can start, you can introduce like this. Then main content. In main content, we should write all the details and informations. And finally, we have to summarize the information. In informal letter, we have to use casual tone, but in formal letter, we do not use casual tone. Okay, and next one, contractions, which means we can use some abbreviations. See, one example has been given here. I haven't is the right form. In informal letter, we can use I haven't. Okay, I have not is the expansion, but the abbreviation is I haven't. Okay, and we can use many exclamatory sentences. You can express your sudden feelings and your strong feelings when you write informal letters, and your letters should be in active, which means use many active voice. Don't use passive voice when you write informal letters. Okay, so here in informal letter, no strict rule. But when we write formal letter, there are some rules. We must follow some rules when we write formal letter. But here, no strict rules. So once again, let me give the fast recap of informal letter. So first, we must write top of the page, either left side or right side, we have to write sender's details, which means sender's address. Okay, so after sender's address, below that we have to write date. When we write date, first the date should be in numerical and the month should be in alphabetical and year should be in numerical order. Okay, so after date, we must write the salutation, which means write dear with your bestie's name and to whom are you writing a letter, add their name like dear Ravi, dear Mala, dear so and so. Okay, write salutation like that. And fourth one is body of the letter. Okay, so body of the letter has three parts. So already I explained. I hope you understood. And next one is complementary close, which means subscription. So we have to close the letter. Yours lovingly like that. So already I thought how to write yours. Y should be in capital and before yes, no need to put apostrophe. Okay, yours lovingly. Then sixth one is after complimentary close, you have to put your signature. Okay, so this is the format and this is the explanation how to write informal letter. I hope everyone has understood this.